I'm here in Germany right now at a roadhouse. I have a speech at Sunday, that's why I stopped here because I couldn't keep on driving. I almost crashed into other cars, or the guardrail because I kept on checking my phone, reading what happens in England right now. It's unbelievable. Tommy Robinson, whom I know in person, who fights in England for years now, against mass immigration and Islamization, was arrested today. He's gotta go to prison for 13 months because he dared to document a court hearing of a bunch of people who were charged with one of those terrible child abuse scandals. So he was arrested and has to go to prison because of a different felony where he was out on probation. A similar felony, but for which he has to go to prison now. What many people don't know is that, for Tommy Robinson, this can be a death sentence. It can be that he won't leave prison alive, like the so-called bacon offender, Kevin Graham, a man who placed a bacon sandwich in front of a mosque, 1 year in prison, where he was murdered. You gotta imagine this. Mysterious reasons, his file not yet released. And the insanity is, in the UK there is a media blockade for this incident. An article of Breitbart was taken down, an article of the Mirror was taken down. This is virtually martial law. You must not report on this. He is just being locked away and you must not report on it. In the UK you live as a grooming gang member, as a pedophile rapist, obviously more safe and better as somebody who reports on that and is shocked by it. And this is so intangible because England, I am happy to be out of this country because England is a pure mindset dictatorship. But the sad thing is, Austria ain't better. In all of Europe they mobilize now against freedom of expression. In all of Europe they now crack down on patriots who report on these abuses in a brutal, most brutal fashion. They lay it on thick and now they wanna, as I see it, tear it all down in a single strike from England to Vienna. And it just shows that we live in an illusory world, especially that you live in a world of make-believe. There is no freedom of expression, you are not at all free, you are only free to work, to pay taxes, to maintain the system with your vitality, but if you revolt against it then you're being locked away. This piece of video where you can see how Tommy Robinson gets arrested is a historical document, and there's a chance that in the future, as Patrick Leonard had twittered, this will be shown in school classes and they will say, this is how bad it was, back in the days, with the mind dictatorship. I really don't know what to say about this. Friends of me are being locked away, people I know might die in a UK prison. They want to criminalize the entire political protest and now use ridiculous things like press blockades and martial law against patriots. The situation becomes increasingly worse, and I think we are heading towards an important point where the states become solely totalitarian and go like, teehee, you as patriots, never had freedom of expression. We led you to believe in having it, as long as you held still, but now since you began to take to the streets, since you increased in numbers, and became more successful, there we are, locking you away, breaking you apart, and showing you what we really make of patriotism, which is a crime. Patriotism, if you do this long term, if you raise your voice, take to the streets, if you put patriotism on display, then in Europe you go to prison. And you never have to rage again, over Russia or Turkey or Hungary. Well, in Russia it might be the case that the NGOs, who work for foreign interests, and against Russia, might be banned, or journalists who do that. But in Europe people are being imprisoned, and their organization brought down, if they take action for Europe. In Austria it's illegal to found a patriotic group that then goes against mass immigration and Islamization, because then, you become a criminal organization. In England, you must not even report anymore about these rape scandals that have been covered for years by the UK government. Then one is being locked away by the English government, and after that, there is a press blockade in order to ensure it's not being spoken about. There really are no words. And I believe we live in a defining moment in which a new totalitarianism unfolds in front our eyes, a totalitarian system that penetrates everything, every actor, anchor, every musician, now also Helene Fischer. Forces them to engage in propaganda for them, and that criminalizes every critic. We are politically persecuted people in this country, in Europe. And the true target of this repression, again, is you. They want to scare you with that. Now I'm asking you, are you scared? Or not? And most importantly, do you have some honor left in your body? Or not? Do you sit idly by as a new totalitarian system unfolds in front of your eyes? And in 50 years, everyone, you and me, will be measured by whether you did something against that. So I gotta get back in the car and keep on driving. I will keep up my resistance, and I gotta say I'm happy about every bad press article about me. I'm happy for the house searches, I'm happy for every single charge against the EBO, because this will show in 50 years that I made everything out of my life, that I did whatever I could to resist this insanity and criminal constraint of the freedom of expression. I hope you do that too. And please do not donate, but become active yourself, show your face. I hope that this insane constraint of freedom of expression in England that might sentence Tommy Robinson to death, this man, this father of several children, who has fought his entire life for his country, who is now being imprisoned in a Muslim-dominated, radical and brutal prison, with this reputation, this profile, were he already in prison, as he told me before, survived several attempts on his life. If what you hear right now doesn't get you to wake up, I believe you are lost. Become active, show your face, become a part of the IB, get out of your niches in the system, because in the end they gonna come for you as well. In the end, when you look at what happens right now, there will be no room left for freedom of expression at all. They now clear out all dissidents one after the other. We really are in a defining moment, in the struggle for democracy and freedom of expression, and as long as this dominion of fear reigns, and as long as patriots all around us are just being locked away, doors are being kicked in, bank accounts frozen, and people are basically being sentenced to die, like Tommy Robinson, just for saying the truth, as long as this happens, no human with honor can possibly just go on with his life.